folks, it's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Boy, this Myanmar tractor is still here. Let me tell you something. And when I finally finish with it, I'm going to post a video talking specifically about Myanmar tractors and how hard it is to find parts for this thing. It's not even supposed to be sold in our market, from what I understand. It's a gray market tractor, which is why it has stickers all over it to say product of Japan. But this thing has been the bane of my existence. However, I did finally get the Radiator back from Radiator King, is who I sent it out to be rebuilt by. They did a wonderful job, and I got my water pump and all that stuff on. So once I can get the glow plugs, I ended up having to order the glow plugs direct through NGK. And for some reason, they only have them out in Italy, so I'm waiting for the glow plugs for this thing to come from Italy. It's something else. Trying to find parts for that tractor have just been something else. So things have been a little slow past few days, so I've had some time to work on the 55 Chevy. And I'm pretty excited about restoring this vehicle. It's pretty neat. It's got the inline 6 in it, and we have decided to go ahead and start working on everything and anything mechanical and getting all that up to snuff. And as you can see, I've got the cylinder head off of it. And so here pretty soon I'm going to work on getting the block out of there. Tomorrow I'm going to go up to the machine shop. I'm going to take the cylinder head up there. I'm going to tell you something. These inline 6s back then, they just don't make them like they used to, man. This thing's a beast. It's a monster. What makes me call it a beast is it had almost no compression, but yet I was still able to pour gasoline down inside of the carburetor and get it to fire up and run for just a minute. And so that's something else. And I'm excited to bring back a little bit of history with this restoration and get it done right and stuff. So I'm going to send this stuff out to Boise Cylinder Head and Machine Shop. They're going to go ahead and do the whole 9 yards, clean it, pressure check it, replace valves and springs in it, grind the valves, do whatever it needs to be done to bring it back to pretty much brand new condition. And then let's see, another thing I thought was neat is this is the original Rochester Gm Carburetor. Okay, like it says right there, Rochester Gm. So this is the original carburetor that came with the truck, and so I'm not going to replace the carburetor. You can buy a brand new aftermarket carburetor for this engine, which I think is pretty neat, but I'm not going to do that, mainly for value's sake. I've been able to identify this carburetor. This is a 1 BBL carburetor, and just in case you're ever looking at a similar carburetor, Rochester has the numbers stamped underneath it right there. So anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and get a rebuild kit for this carburetor and get it rebuilt, get it cleaned up, make it look brand new again, and go from there. So outsourcing the cylinder head to the machine shop for valve job and all that other good stuff. Rebuilding the carburetor. This is the intake manifold. I'm also going to be sending that out to the machine shop, so they'll pressure check that, make sure there's no cracks, micro pinholes, anything like that. We'll get that cleaned up and reuse that, keep that all original. And then the block, I'll get the pistons out of the block, and it's fairly clean in there. Now this cylinder, and maybe you can even see some of it, this cylinder had some coolant in it. So again, new head gasket, all that other stuff. We're going to send the block out to be checked and tested. This job will be a full rebuild. The crankshaft and camshafts are going to be okay. Again, they don't make them like they used to, so whatever the machine shop is going to do with them, we'll go ahead and have the machine shop take care of the crankshaft and the camshaft. I will replace pistons and rods and all that other stuff, and do all that here in shop, and then again have the machine shop clean everything So everything you see here is going to be clean and look brand new. So looks like right now we're just going to start moving forward with getting the top half done. It's probably going to take them a couple weeks anyways to rebuild the cylinder head for us. So yeah, while they're doing that, then we'll go ahead and we will get the bottom half of the block and everything you see here uninstalled, and I'll make some cool videos and show you some of that stuff too. And then we'll also start working on doing things like, for example, either rebuilding or replacing the distributor. That starter had to come off, and I had to basically rebuild it in order to get it to start the way I did when I just poured gas in it. But if I can get a brand new starter, I think I'm going to go ahead and get a brand new starter instead of working with this one. But again, if it will add to the end value of it to have the original starter, I'll just go ahead and get that fully cleaned up and finished up. And then same with the gearbox here. You know, gearboxes can be rebuilt, but it may not make sense to rebuild it. For the steering gearbox there, get it uninstalled, get it cleaned up, see what we're dealing with, see what we're working with. There's not a whole lot of play in the steering though, which is, you know, is non-income. Yeah, that's not play. That's actually turning the wheel. So there's not a whole lot of back and forth play in the steering. So it might just be a matter of getting it cleaned up and all that other stuff. So yes, you know, we're getting the steering so it's safe and sound and reliable, front brakes, all that other stuff, you know, everything mechanical. This front grille, I think what I want to do is I want to pull the engine and the transmission all out as one. And so this front grille is going to be replaced anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and work on getting it apart. But when I was pulling the radiator, this front grille piece here is broken, I noticed. And it's just old and worn, and you see where it cracked and it broke. So it was already like that. That's how I found it and all that other stuff. But it's just old and rusty. That's why it's broke. That could be fixed. That could just, you know, be welded back together and made to look real nice, or replace it. But I'm going to go ahead and remove the front grille and whatnot and just pull that engine and transmission out as one. That engine block and transmission. Just pull that out as one. Get them separated, and then of course there's gonna be a new clutch reinstalled with it. Transmission is gonna get rebuilt and completely cleaned up, all new seals, all that other good stuff. And then here we've got our radiator. It kind of fell apart on me as I was pulling it out. Again, it's old. I'm not gonna replace, I'm gonna rebuild. So I've got a good team together of guys from Boise Cylinder Head to Radiator King that are going to jump in on this with me, and we're going to get this stuff rebuilt so it's all original and it looks nice and new again and all that other good stuff. So that's where we're at, and here in the next few days I'll call the owner back in and show him all this stuff, and you know, it's going to be fun and exciting and all kinds of cool stuff happening here. So alrighty guys, well, I just wanted to give you an update on this beauty and just kind of let you know how it's going and all that other stuff. Thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes and watching. Thank you for subscribing and supporting my channel. If you have any questions concerning any projects that you have going on, just shoot them to me in the comments. I really enjoy helping you guys out, and I enjoy the fact that my channel has become a place where other people answer questions, and we're just becoming a large community of mechanically inclined people that are helping others. So that's pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, this is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, signing off.